Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 7 video lecture series. Students, today we are going to cover another SLO of our unit number 8 called Choice of a Profession. We are going to talk about grammar and vocabulary. You can open your books and you can see that the topic today we are having is about prepositions. It is linked with the previous lesson where we talked about prepositions and its types and different scenarios where we use different prepositions. Today we are going to talk about how we can use more than one prepositions together and how we can use prepositional phrases as well. Now, the learning outcome is simple. Use compound prepositions and prepositional phrases. Now let's talk about the vertical linkage. You can see it over here. It is linked with the previous grade. And for today's brainstorming session, students, have you ever witnessed some phrases which indicate position, direction, or place? Yes. When we are having phrases, phrase which is a group of words, we can often find prepositions on, in, under, above, besides, etc. And when we talked about prepositional types previously in the last lecture, we saw that some prepositions are showing some time, some prepositions are showing direction or movement, and some are showing places as well, positions or locating where things are actually put. So recall the lecture and now let's talk about prepositions. Students, there are a lot of prepositions that you need to memorize. Here you can see a list of prepositions and these are all one-word prepositions. And by combining these one-word prepositions together, you can make two-word prepositions and also three-word prepositions. So here is a list. Now pause the video, note all of these prepositions down and try to memorize them and use them with examples. This is about, above, across, and all these prepositions. All right, let's talk about compound prepositions. Students, when we are talking about the word compound, it means we are combining more than one or two things together. This is what we mean by compound. And we have also seen compound nouns, compound adjectives as well. So let's talk about compound prepositions. Compound prepositions are special types of prepositions made by combining two or more words, actually prepositions, together. And this kind of preposition is called complex preposition as well. So we have compound prepositions with two-word prepositions and complex prepositions with three-word prepositions. They help us show relationships between different words in a sentence. These combinations of words work as a single unit and have specific meanings. So compound preposition, even if they are more than one word or more than two words, two prepositions, or they are three prepositions, they are still working together as one unit and they will have a specific meaning. We will talk about it now. Now, compound prepositions are used to talk about time, place, direction, and other details, position, location, and movement as well. And we talk about it in a more specific or complex way. For example, instead of just using the simple preposition in, can we use a compound preposition to show to describe a position? Yes, we can do it. We have a compound preposition actually made up of three words in front of. This is an example of a compound preposition. We have three words and all of them are prepositions. In was very simple, but if we use in front of, we can describe the position of something. Some common examples of compound prepositions are according to, in addition to, in spite of, and with regard to. You can see this is a two-word compound preposition and these are three-word compound prepositions. And they are working together to show a place, a position, time, location, movement as well, but in a very detailed manner, unlike single prepositions. Now, let's look at some examples. Here is a sentence taken from the text. Select a profession that will benefit both you and your country in the long run. So what is the compound preposition over here? Yes, in the long run. The book is on top of the table. Yes, on and off. These are two prepositions. He chose to go for a walk instead of watching TV. So instead of is also a compound preposition. All right, let's talk about two-word compound prepositions with some examples. My son emerged from behind the curtains to scare me. Where did he emerge from? From behind the curtains, right? So we are sure about the place and also the movement as well. Next, zeal is something that comes from within a person. Does it come from outside? No, it comes from within, from the conscious. So from is a preposition, within is a preposition, and we have compound preposition over here. Now, let's talk about three-word compound prepositions. He ran away from the cat as far as she could. As he could, actually. Now, he's running away, or he ran away from the cat. How much did he run? How much did he run? To what extent? What was the movement? The movement was as far as he could, very far from the reach of the cat. Now, as far as preposition, preposition, and preposition. So, this is also a compound preposition. Her uncle attended the ceremony on behalf of her father. On behalf of. With obviously the permission and on the behalf of someone. So, on behalf of is a three-word compound preposition. There is a pizza store. Where is it? In front of the park. Right in front of the park. So this three-word preposition is actually showing us the location of our noun, which is the pizza store. Now, let's talk about prepositional phrases. Yes, phrases that have preposition in them, and they work with a very definite structure. Let's see. Prepositional phrases are groups of words that begin with a preposition, always begin with a preposition, and end with a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. And that noun, pronoun, or noun phrase after the preposition at the end, it is called the object of the preposition. So we have our preposition at the start of the phrase and it ends with the object of the preposition. Alright, and the object can be a noun, it can be a pronoun, and it can also be a noun phrase. This is how you make your prepositional phrases. These phrases provide additional information about the location, time, manner, or direction of an action or state described in a sentence. So, just like prepositions tell us about direction on time and location, prepositional phrase also do the same thing. The prepositional phrase functions as an adverbial or adjectival phrase modifying a verb, adjective, or noun in the sentence. Now, the prepositional phrase can also have an adverb, an adjective, and it can modify a noun, adjective, or even a verb. And this is how it works. It always starts with a preposition, ends with a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase, and you can have different modifiers in between these two. But that would still be called a prepositional phrase. All right, let's look at over here. we have a preposition plus our noun or pronoun, and we can make a prepositional phrase. Without Samara or without her. So here is your preposition, this is your noun, and this is your pronoun. So you can work with both. Without is our preposition, and Samara or her, these are our object of preposition. And this makes a prepositional phrase. Now, you can also add modifiers, preposition, and add your modifier plus your object of the preposition, which can be a noun, a pronoun, or a noun phrase. Now, the modifier can be any adjective, anything that describes your that describes the position or the preposition as well. Now, let's look at over here. This is a prepositional phrase. All of these. First, we have a preposition. Then we have modifiers. Yellow, best. And then we have our object, submarine or brightest or students. So in a yellow submarine, in is our preposition, yellow is our modifier, this is our article, and then we have object of the preposition, which is a noun. Then in the next example, you start with the preposition, always, plus you can add any article, a, an, or the accordingly, and then your modifier, which is best over here, this is an adjective, and then you can add your object of the preposition, which is students or brightest students, these with a modifier. So modifiers can be added, but the structure has to be the same. First preposition, then object of preposition. In the last example above it, we have preposition and object of preposition, which is a pronoun. It can also be a noun or a noun phrase. So you can have your preposition with object, and you can have different modifiers in between them as well. And that would make up your prepositional phrases. For the current generation, for achieving such good grades in the past. These are all prepositions, starting with prepositions. These are prepositional phrases that are ending with nouns. All of these objects are nouns, and these are objects of the preposition. So in order to identify if the phrase is prepositional phrase or not, you have to look for the preposition at the start and an object at the end, and you can find different modifiers in between them. Here are some more examples. The tiger crept over the grass, preposition plus your article or any modifier, and then your noun or object. Here you can see the prepositional phrase is coming in the middle of the sentence, with the tattered cover. With is your preposition, the is any article that comes, it's an article, and then modifier, tattered, and noun. So this is your object. Let's sail around the world. Around, preposition with article and then with noun, and that is your object of the preposition. So with so many different examples, now I hope students that you can recognize a prepositional phrase and also formulate one as well. This is your classroom activity where you have to use the given compound prepositions in your sentences, and the simulation link is here to give you extensive information if you're interested. And let's talk about the worksheet over here, which is based on the main lesson, compound prepositions and prepositional phrases. For your homework, you have to use the given prepositional phrases to complete the sentence. A word bank is given and you have to put it according according to the context. And all these resources are also included in the description of the video, students. Thank you for listening. I hope that now we are clear about what are compound prepositions, how do they work, how are they made, and how prepositional phrases are identified and made. And you can also write and start writing your sentences with prepositional phrases. You can use them at the start, in the middle, and also at the end of the sentence. Let's see you in the next video lesson, students. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.